Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. We're standing out here in front of cabin 3, and we've had quite a bit happen since you guys have been along for the ride here. First off, as you can see behind me here, cabin 3's got some stain on it, and Rebecca has been trying to take advantage of some of the nicer days out here, and cabin 3 is now stained up, at least here on part of it. We still have a lot of the trim stuff to get taken care of, but that part is well underway, and she's been doing a bang-up job with that. And like I said in several of the last videos, I'm going to be jumping on a lot of small little projects around that are just kind of pushing these cabins closer and closer to getting finished. And that's been the case here for the past 2 weeks. So quite a few things have been done. It's been quite rainy. Today's the first sunny day really in about 4 or 5 days. But it's a little cool this morning. Well, I don't think we've crossed over 40 degrees yet. But next couple days, 4 or 5 days are going to be sunny and really kind of warming up to almost 75 by I think Wednesday of this coming week. So we just moved our clocks forward last night. So, you know, it's going to be darker here in the morning and stuff, but we're gonna keep pressing on. So some of the things, let me show you some of the stuff that's been finished here within the cabins. 1 and 3 are just about 1 and 3 cabins are just about at the exact same level, and it all applies to them. First of all, let me just kind of recap the where am I at here? Back there, the vanity area and stuff, that was all finished up, I think, in the last video. But now you can see up here above the bathroom, that's the inside blower for the air conditioner. And that went off really well. So one of the things that's on the list of, you know, still has to be done, I have to assemble the line set for it, get that out and around the back of the window. Or I'm sorry, the back of the cabin. I've got the kind of the track that's going to hide the raceway, whatever you want to call it, out the back of the cabin. That's going to hide those tubes and protect them a little bit. So all that had to be ordered this past week, and it all came in. I've also got vents on the back of the cabin that have to be installed. I had to get the pieces, everything I need to vacuum out the line sets and get the air conditioners kind of up and going. So all that's going to be accomplished maybe this week. I'm not quite sure, because as you saw on the floor kind of here behind me, one of the things I was really waiting on was some of the boards that I had recently milled to dry out so that I can finish doing the interior sheathing for cabin 2. Well, as we come around here, you can see behind me, cabin 2 now is completely enclosed. So all the interior sheathing has been done. I took the time maybe over two or 3 days or so in between rain clouds and stuff like that to put those boards up. It took longer than I wanted to, and it got frustrating at times because I would kind of have some gear out, and then all of a sudden it would start to rain, and you know, I wasn't gonna add another piece of the headache of bringing you guys along here and worrying about this equipment and stuff like that. So I just knocked it out over a period of days. Once I tested the lumber up on the hill there, it was sitting around somewhere between 9 and 12% wetness, I guess. It had dried out a lot since the last time I had looked at it. So I was confident enough to say that's going to be good enough to go up on the side. So we went ahead and did that, and it looks fantastic. So we're ready to move on here to putting up the insulation nailers, and that's what this stuff here is behind me. Yesterday, Rebecca and I were out here putting these sheets of plywood up there and ripping them down into these 3.5-inch wide boards right here, because I'm going to put these on top of the 2x4s to give me that 2-inch clearance I need to get the insulation, the rigid foam insulation that's been sitting over there. So we're going to start putting up those nailers today, and we should get, I anticipate getting most of it done today. So we'll bring you guys along for the ride a little bit, and we'll see how it goes. Trying to think of other things. Another thing that I've really been trying to work on is the center area here. I'm not sure if it's going to show up or not, but I've been raking. I actually hand rake that entire area, getting up all the sticks and all this other stuff, and a lot of the leaves, things got burned, and everything. It looks fantastic right now. There's quite a bit of kind of landscaping stuff I would like to get done. Just a lot of kind of holes and dips and divots and stuff that I want to clear out and kind of make it a much nicer appearance. But I laid down quite a bit of seed over the last grass seed over the last couple weeks, and it's really starting to come up. We've had so much rain, and we have had some warm days, so it's really starting to come in nice, and I'm pretty excited about it, which is funny because this week, if it stays nice, the way things work out, Wednesday, Thursday of this coming week, I plan on having the excavator here, and we're going to rip up some stumps. So of the grass that's growing now, I'm just going to tear it up a little bit. But it's one of those things where I want to get this done here in early spring, and it's really starting to pop off. So we're excited about that. We're also taking bids right now. Well, we've got to get the septic in, and we're ready to move forward on that. And everybody seems like they're about 3 to 4 weeks out from getting it done. So if we confirm with somebody, and hopefully this week we'll get that finalized, and then we'll have that on the schedule to be done as well. So a lot going on, guys. A lot going on. So let's get into it. Here we go. All right, gang, the backside here went really well, super easy. I'm really glad I went this route with these, the store-bought 2x4s and the plywood. This really saved me hours and hours, days of having to cut more 2x4s and then letting them, dry and everything like that. All this is going to be hidden. You're never going to see any of this, so I am not worried about it at all. And I do have some gaps in here with some of these butt joints and things. Now the 2x4s I bought were 12 feet long, so I have a full-size 12-footer, and then I have an 8-footer. And because the sheathing on the inside, on the end, extends the wall, the actual length, the width of the wall. That's why it ends up having these gaps, because I pretty much plumbed it up to the ends of the cabin. So that's kind of why those gaps are there. But again, not really too concerned with it. I'm going to fill them before I put the house wrap on and stuff. I'm going to fill those with spray foam. So not really worried about that at all. So yeah, this is going great. I'm going to start on the gable end, do the same thing on both sides of the gable ends, and then, yeah, we'll just keep moving around to the front. Let's keep hammering away. All right, gang, wrapping up here at the end of the day. You can see behind me, there's that, what I would consider the pain in the butt gable side here, because because I still have a ditch down here from where the power line is coming out. I don't have that filled in yet, so that makes that certainly interesting there with trying to get the ladders not to fall over and whatnot. Then you see the front side here. I didn't put two pieces on the front side, and it's these. I was supposed to have a bottom piece here and then over there as well, but because we've had so much rain and everything, the wood is just still kind of wet a little bit there on the end. So I'm going to leave that undone at least for the night. Maybe through tomorrow. Like I said, we're supposed to have nothing but sun here for the next couple days, and I'd like that to dry out a little bit more before I put something up against it there. So tomorrow I'll be out here cutting up all of the insulation that's been over there. We're going to get that up on the wall, get it taped in a little bit, and yeah, we'll go from there. So should be a pretty good, productive day here tomorrow on cabin 2. Once that insulation is up, then I start putting on the outside sheathing of it, and then I've got more. After that, I got more structure here on the porch because this is a covered porch. It's very different than cabin 1 and cabin 3. So we definitely have some, learning to do here as we get along. I'm trying to get in the shade here. I got a real skinny tree up there. But yeah, that's the plan for tomorrow. Insulation, cut up insulation, get put up, taped up, all the little gaps and everything kind of filled in. And then, we're going to start maybe putting on some sheathing. We'll see. I've got a huge stack of 10-inch wide boards up there that are just aching to get down here and onto cabin 2. So we look forward to doing that. All right, guys, we'll see you in the morning. Well, good morning, everybody. We're back at it down here. Absolutely beautiful day. I don't see a cloud in the sky. We're supposed to be up in the low 60s today, and we're looking forward to it. I've been down here already a little bit, putting on some of the insulation here on cabin 2. It goes up super quick. I mean, just a few cuts, and it's ready to go. So the only change from the last time I was doing some of the insulation, I'm not using a saw. I actually found, believe it or not, in the back of like an old junk drawer, I found this. I want to say this is an old like Ginsu knife from like the 80s or something like that, they cut tin cans with it and whatever else on the commercials. But it had not seen the light of day in some time, and come to find out it cuts this insulation just fine, and it doesn't leave me with all of that snow, kind of the residue from using a saw. So I'm using that. It's working great, and it's going pretty quick. So we're gonna keep kind of working on that. I've got the whole front to do. I still have to put on these bottom insulation dividers down there, so that's going to be quick a little bit. I'll wait as long as I can today, again, to give that bottom, those boards down there along the porch just a little more time to dry out before I cover them up. So we're just going to keep getting this insulation. As you can already see, the stack behind me has already gotten just a little bit smaller. So we're going to go ahead and keep working on in this direction. So let's get to it. All right, gang, about 3 or so in the afternoon here. Just finished up putting on the insulation here. Nothing really too complicated about this stuff. Is super easy to work with. Most complicated area was up there above, the top of this gable end. A couple angled pieces, but not really any issues. Just a little bit of ladder work and stuff. So. Backside here, again, super simple. These were all just straight cuts I had to make, so really no issues here. Then of course the most fun over on this side here with all these ladders and the ditch that's still here. It's super sketchy, but everything went up just fine. So like I was talking to you earlier, last thing I did here, I put the spacers in along the bottom here on this side and that side, and then my last two cuts were these pieces of insulation here. So Rebecca's down here, she's going to help me out. We are about to house wrap it, so we'll see how that goes. Well, good morning everybody. As luck would have it, Rebecca and I were out here yesterday afternoon, evening time, putting up the house wrap, and wouldn't you know it, we ran out. I didn't realize how little was on the roll, but I managed to get just about 2/3 of the backside here, and then it just ran out. So it was about 4:30 yesterday afternoon, and I had to run out and go grab some so we could get going straight off this morning. So I ended up picking up a regular 9-foot roll and then a 3-foot roll, because the front, you see I have some exposed area here at the bottom that, it's over 9 feet. So this area down here towards the bottom, I don't want to cut this large roll, because I like having that 9 feet. So this 3-foot roll will come in handy. We'll just run that across and then tape the seam, and we'll be done with that. So we have the two gable ends to do, and then a little bit of the back still to knock out. So we're going to get on that first thing this morning. I think she's going to come down and help out with that a little bit, but a little chilly out this morning, and we're in the 20s when I woke up, but we're looking at mid-60s today, so we're pretty excited. This is going to be a great day. And yeah, let's get to it. All right, guys, just wrapping up here with the house wrap. Just put that last strip there on the bottom of the front, and things went just fine. Rebecca was out here helping me for a little bit, but not too bad. She had to get back up to, what she's got going on. So this side, of course, as usual, was the really pain in the butt side. And of course, really, with this house wrap being 9 foot, I only had to run straight across this back section here. So that was really the easiest section to do. There's no cutouts, got a little seam in the middle, but that Tyvek tape stuff really works well. And yeah, everything looks great. So I'm gonna go up, grab something to drink, and shortly after that, I'll be down here with some, hook up the log arch, and I'll bring some of the boards down that are going to be the exterior sheathing, and we'll start running across, probably start on the back maybe. Those will all be the same length, and that should probably be the easiest one to knock out the quickest. So to go along with the front here, but I got to cut around windows and things like that. But so back should go up pretty quick. So let's get on it. All right, guys, just back down here from lunch. Got my first load here on the log arch. I do have some smaller boards in here. They were just on the top of the pile, so I just brought them down because I will certainly eventually use them. So the idea here is that now these boards are over 10 feet long. So on the back, I'm going to have to do a little trimming, and just simply because I can't even stand a long board like that up right now. This here to the ground is shorter than 10 feet. So I got to trim them all down. But I want to let some run wild, not some. I guess I'm going to let them all run wild so that when I'm done, I can run my saw across, my circular saw across the bottom and get a nice straight line across there. So looks like about 101 inches will do the trick. That'll give me 3 or 4 inches at the bottom, and then I'll be flush at the top up along those rafter tails that are sticking out there. So got my cut station kind of set up here. Again, this really isn't all of these edges except for the bottom, the top edges and things like that. It's all going to be covered up with trim, molding, and stuff like that. So I'm not worried about the slightly not square top of the board. So, I mean, really just the length. I want to get them up there square. I have a board already screwed into the side here so that when I already ran the level, you see the level standing there. When I put my first board up and put it up against that board there, that will flush it up. So when I start on this side, I know that when I put a board up, it's going to be, you know, right where it needs to be. So it is nice and square. It is plumb. So that's a good way to get things started off on a good foot. So set you guys up here and we'll get to work. All right, guys, well, we're coming to the end of a pretty long but productive day. You can see behind me here, I managed to get the entire front done here late in the afternoon, and it turned out great. You may have seen me, I used the router to get just kind of trim out around the windows and the door. It works great. I got to tell you that that little compact router that I have, it works great. Now, all that, it's not perfect. Of course, there's little dinks and stuff like that that it'll all be covered by trim, but hacking it out with the router like that really makes it really pretty easy. So it's getting late in the day. It's probably about 6:30 or so, and I'm whooped. I am whooped for sure. So you see, I still got a lot of sun actually behind me here. So these days are certainly getting longer, and I look forward to getting out here and spending, you know, longer days out here as the temperature, you know, gets warmer and warmer. Now tomorrow and the next day, I was anticipating having the excavator here In fact, I had it rented and everything was supposed to be good to go. Now, I got a call today saying that the excavator is broken. So, to the point where they're having to send it out for repair. So it's not a simple like hydraulic hose or nothing like that. It's a pretty serious repair, and there's no anticipated time that they're going to have it back. So keep pushing forward here. Tomorrow then, and the next day is gable ends. You know how much I love the excitement of those gable ends. So we're going to work on that and, you know, knock those out. So should be pretty nice. Wednesday and Thursday this week going to be absolutely beautiful in the 70s. It's going to be warm, and I got absolutely destroyed by the sun today. My lips are all dried and chapped. It was a show out here. So yeah, we got to come better prepared tomorrow. Probably wear my my wide brim hat or something. But plenty to do. Gable ends tomorrow. We'll see you then.